My name is Suzanne. You see me back and forth. I have Mika on the other side of the camera. Hi, Mika.
Hey.
There you go. And this is Chris. So hello, Chris.
Hello.
How are you today?
You guys. I'm well.
Good. So we are at your auto detailing employment. So what's the name of your company?
The company's name is Luxe Detailing of Fort Wayne.
Okay, great. And what's the website when people want to log on there?
It's luxedetailingfw.co.
Okay, beautiful. Taylor's going to go ahead and throw that on our chat box so that people can go ahead and talk to you when they need to.
Okay.
So lots of questions to start before we have you start moving around here. So we are in your garage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long have you had this business?
I've had this, I want to say it was July. I started July of 2020. I started it.
Okay, beautiful. No, that's good. July of 2020. What made you decide to do this?
I've always been into cars. I used to have my own mechanic shop, 2014, 2015, and I kind of moved away from that. And I was in a bad accident back in October of 19.
Okay.
And I just needed something else. I knew I wanted to work for myself again, but I needed a less physically intense avenue to do so.
Okay, great. So prior to coming here today, I have a little bit of background with you. So I know that you clean, that you are able to do your auto detailing at different locations. So we're here in your garage, and we'll take a tour of your garage in a little bit. Where else do you do auto detailing?
Anywhere the customer's at. I am fully mobile. I am totally self-contained. I don't need to hook up to electric or water.
Okay.
I have a trailer for all of that myself, and I'm working on a water containment system right now to suck up all the water that I've used, so I'm fully capable of going in parking garages or at any place of business.
That's wonderful.
Apartment complexes, anywhere the customer's at and they have permission, I'll be able to go.
Wonderful. So when I go to work, I can drive myself to work. I can park in my parking lot, make sure it's okay with the place that I work, and you will come and clean my car while I'm working all day.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. That's wonderful. So what I'd like us to do right now, if you could take us on a tour of your space and sort of talk a little bit about the chemicals that you use, the equipment that you're using, and then we will have you demonstrate a little bit of cleaning on this car. How's that sound?
Sounds good. I typically only have customers come to my home whenever they don't have the ability to do it at their house.
Okay.
I don't prefer to do it in my garage, but for certain customers, I will without issue. I typically start at the back of the vehicle and work my way forward. That's why I've got the lift gate open to show you guys everything here.
Okay.
And then I'll start with vacuuming out real quick, and then I'll do a wipe down with an all-purpose cleaner. And after I'm done wiping everything down, the quick vacuum, then I'll come with my carpet extractor and extract all the dirt or as much as possible out of the carpets and seats if it's a cloth seat. After that's done, I will come back with some interior protectant and spray everything down, let it sit for a few minutes, and then wipe it all off to get the Armor Ollie residue off.
Okay.
So it's a nice matte and natural finish to it. Once that's all done, I'll do windows.
Fabulous.
Windows are a big one for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a very intricate process with my windows. So it's not just a spray and wipe. You always have streaks when you do that.
Okay.
I spray them down, and then I'll wipe them down with a microfiber cloth, and then I'll spray them again, and then hit it with a squeegee.
Oh.
And then there's another rag. It's a special microfiber window rag that I use and wipe off any streaks or any excess residue. I can show you guys that too if you like.
Sure, yeah.
So this window here was done already, but we can do it again real quick.
Got it.
I'll spray it down, and do a quick wipe down with the first rag just to get all the excess crud off. And then I'll do a quick spray down again and use my squeegee. And with the first rag, keep cleaning the squeegee. Sorry for the angle here. It's kind of.
No, we're good.
I'm used to going the other way.
And you do inside and outside of windows on a vehicle?
Oh, yes. Wipe down the excess up top and around the sides. And then with my waffle weave towel, I'll come back and wipe anything else off.
And that takes care of all those streaks.
And now that window is streak free.
That's fabulous. And you can catch a glimpse of that. And it works on the same on the inside. So
Yep.
There's no streaks inside or outside.
Exactly.
That's brilliant. Yes, I'm going to have you clean my car because that's great. About how long does it take you to do a vehicle this size? So this is what, an SUV?
Yep, this is a Buick Enclave.
Okay, so how long would it take you to do this?
For the interior job, it's depending on the level of soiledness, obviously. It's anywhere between 3 and 6 hours
Wow.
typically. So it's much more in depth than just your average sweep and wipe down.
Absolutely, because we can all do our sweep and wipe downs. We're going to bring it to you for the detailing.
What skills do you need for this job as far as customer service goes?
The ability to talk to people, I mean, is a huge must. If you're extremely introverted, it's going to be very hard to sell the job and sell yourself.
Okay.
That's something I struggle with from time to time, but I've been able to work around that, especially with COVID, everything being not in person and
Sure.
via text or messaging.
Right.
Attention to detail is a must. You have to be very meticulous, be able to follow directions and follow procedures.
Is it a physically demanding job?
Absolutely. You are bent over all the time. Like this SUV here, it has a very small third row seat that, 7 and 8 year olds have trouble getting in and out of. I'm 6'3", and it's very difficult at times to squeeze into cars.
Do you work alone or have other employees working with you?
Right now I work alone. I'm looking to get a brick and mortar shop hopefully by the end of the year, and I'll have at least one helper there.
What is a brick and mortar? What does that mean?
A brick and mortar for detailing is to have a shop, typically at least 2 bays, so you can have one dedicated wash bay and one interior or paint correction bay. It's just having a physical location.
Okay, as opposed to, or in addition to your home garage and your mobile unit. So
Yes.
Your future plan is a brick and mortar and to continue your mobile unit?
Correct.
If I'm sensitive to smell, would this be a good job for me?
Not typically. I'm sure we've all seen those nightmare cars on Facebook and YouTube and everything else. There are definitely some foul smells, and the chemicals, some of them have fairly strong smells as well. However, that being said, they dissipate within a few minutes, so there's no lingering chemical smell for the customer.
What are the education requirements for this type of work?
Technically speaking, you don't have to have any form of formal education.
Okay.
I recommend having done it for a while to have at least some form of business class outside of high school.
Okay.
If you're going to own your own shop or be on the managerial side of it.
Okay. And if we're not going to be on the managerial shop side of it, we don't want to open our own shop. We want to go work for somebody. Are there any special classes or education that we need to be able to do the detailing work?
To start off, no.
Okay.
To do the more in-depth stuff, when you remove scratches and correct the paint and all that, that requires a lot of practice.
Okay.
There are places like Ivy Tech, or I think Purdue even offers a couple certificate classes for that.
Okay.
Yeah, off of that last question, outside of educational experience, what about experience in the field?
Entry level to intermediate level, yes.
Okay, so if I had no experience in this field, could I come in and learn, or is it something I would need information on prior to starting?
You would have to know what it is, but there are programs, and I'm actually going to be looking to do an almost apprentice type program.
Okay.
So for those who do want to learn, I'm willing to show them whenever I get to that point.
Yeah, the basics of cleaning and the routine and everything else like that. That's
Yep.
great. Wonderful. Chris, could you take us on a tour of your shop and talk about the equipment that you use to be able to clean the cars?
Yeah, we can start. Let's start on this side.
Okay. We'll have Mika follow you.
Up here, I have all my rags. Most people think that it's just grab a rag and go and wipe stuff down.
Okay.
Every color here, or well, I should say every basket here has a different purpose.
Okay.
All these rags here are my interior cleaning rags. And this is all my wash stuff with my drying towels there. And then down here is my exterior stuff. And then these are all the machines that I have for my paint correction and scratch removal.
Okay.
And then I've got my toolboxes here. Occasionally, we'll have to remove seats to get underneath and in the tracks of the seats and all that. So you have to have some tools at least.
Okay.
And then we've got all my spray bottles with all the different chemicals. I mean, water spot remover, got some window stuff here. This is for, I guess, this section here is for exterior paint correction, waxes, stuff like that. Over here, I've got tire dressings and cleaning stuff.
It's very organized, Chris.
You have to be organized in this line of work. It's efficiency is key.
Yeah, and I'm guessing we probably want to use the right, if we use the wrong chemical for the wrong application, we can probably wreck a car.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Say if I use degreaser, like it's Purple Power is a real popular one.
Okay.
If you spray Purple Power on the inside of your car or Simple Green,
Yeah.
it can actually deteriorate the plastic and cause it to fade and become brittle and crack.
Oh my gracious.
I've got all my detailing brushes here and a wide array of other brushes and stuff. These are always pretty cool. Everybody calls that toy brush for obvious reasons.
Sure.
But it attaches to a drill, and as it spins around, it picks up all the caked on dirt off the floor mats.
Oh, very good. All of the things that you never think about, you know, for the common person that just goes to our car wash.
I've got it. I've got my pressure washer put up right now, but I have multiple pressure washer wands for different purposes. This is my wheel well wand, and this one has interchangeable ends for different paint
Oh, okay.
areas. And obviously, we need a ladder to reach the top of cars. Even me being tall can't reach everything.
Sure.
We've got an air compressor to blow out all the dirt out of the nooks and crannies in the car that we can't reach with a brush or a vacuum.
Okay.
we've got our carpet extractor. This is the one I use for mobile jobs.
Okay.
I'm in the process of repairing my larger one that I have for, I'm going to have for the brick and mortar shop.
Okay. Beautiful. We're going to switch. Let's see. We're going to switch like this and flip the whole world around.
Okay.
There you go.
And then I've got my shop vac. You had leaf blower. You wouldn't think that you'd use that on cars, but whenever you're drying a car, I use the leaf blower and I blow out all the cracks in order before I dry it with a towel, so you don't have those water spot lines dripping out like everybody does after a run through mics.
Go. I use my leaf blower to blow all the dirt and dust out of my car before I wipe it down.
Yeah. Just another wide array of chemicals here. Car washes and different waxes and some applicators there too.
About how much does it cost you to have all of this equipment?
If I had to tally everything up to just to get started, I would say roughly $1,000 to be able to get into the door.
To get into the door, okay, to make sure you have enough, just the beginning stages of that.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful.
And then you see here, I've got another one of my polishers. You would think that this would only be for paint. However, I don't know how well you guys can pick up the embedded dirt and the carpet here. If that helps or not. All that embedded dirt over there, this is stuff that is hard to pick up with your normal vacuum. Well, I have this that I stick on the carpet and it vibrates it and pulls all the dirt and dust up from the bottom.
Very good. So you're really doing some deep cleaning. We're not just surface cleaning. Your detailing is real detailing, getting as much and everything out so that folks have really clean cars.
Absolutely.
Okay, beautiful. So Chris, as we're moving to the other side, have you seen an increase or decrease in your business because of COVID? Are people wanting their cars cleaned and sanitized?
Yes.
Okay.
I've seen both, and that's kind of an oxymoron, but I've seen more people wanting their car cleaned from germs and bacteria and stuff. Hang on just a second.
Yep, not a problem. So as Chris gets a drink, this is the car that he's currently working on. We'll have Mika walk around the side. And so this is in his garage. You can see some of it is done. He's in the process of cleaning it. Is there stuff on the floor? Yup, stuff on the floor, just like all the rest of our cars. Okay, are you good?
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. So we were talking about the increase because of COVID and cleaning and sanitizing.
I've seen an increase of customers wanting stuff done in the way of disinfecting and using antimicrobial products.
Okay.
I've seen a decrease in customers wanting the scratches taken out of their cars and waxes and stuff like that.
Okay. What is your busiest time of year?
Spring into early summer is definitely the busiest.
Okay.
Late fall, there's a week, back to school week.
Oh, sure.
Is a real dead week for us. And then right around Christmas time falls off again, obviously. And it's up and down through January, February, and right around March when it starts to peak outside and come back up into the warmer temps, it starts picking up.
Okay. About how many cars do you do on average per week?
During winter time, it's I would say between 3 to 4 cars per week.
Okay.
Summertime, there's times where I'm busy for weeks at a time.
Okay. So can you talk about your price point? What's your cars that you're cleaning?
The price, I've got a small car outside that's a little two-seater convertible car. For an interior detail on that, I charge $90.
Okay.
But it's a small car. On this vehicle here, just for the interior, I'm charging $150.
Okay.
And the smaller SUVs, slightly less.
Okay.
Now, this is just for the interior, though. The exterior on something like this would be, I want to say it's 175, 165.
Okay.
And then if you do everything combined, we give I think it's a $10, $15 discount on both packages.
Oh, all right. Beautiful. So Chris, can you give us a real quick show of cleaning the dashboard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
I'm going to come.
You're going to go this way. We're going to go on this side. I know it's out of sequence, but just super quick.
Yep. No problem. So get in here, and there's our protectant. There's a rag. So I'll do a quick spray here and a spray in the brush. And it'll get nice and sudsy and lift off all the dirt that's on there. And then you come back with your rag, wipe up all the excess.
Oh, yeah.
And most would call that good. However, your dashboard is bare at this time, and you've always got sun rays beating down it.
Okay.
And it's protected. So we put a UV protectant on there. And then we give it a second to soak in and wipe up all the excess there as well. And it leaves a nice satin finish to it.
Wonderful. That's great. Thank you. What is your favorite part about your job?
I would say paint corrections.
Okay.
Being able to do a side by side where I lay a tape line down the center of the hood and I remove all the scratches on one side, and then I'll lift the tape up and you can see the dramatic difference.
Okay. Wonderful. What's your least favorite part about your job?
Windows.
The windows that we all want you to do. That's
Yep.
the least favorite part?
Yep, they're in a smoker's car.
Oh, yeah.
I chased streaks for quite a while.
Okay.
But it's part of the job, so.
Absolutely. What is the best part about working for yourself?
Flexibility of hours.
Okay.
I would say that's a double-edged sword, though.
Sure.
Because there's nights where I'm working until 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, sure.
So.
To be able to get stuff done.
Yeah.
It would help if I unmuted myself. Uniform. Is there a uniform? I know you said you work for yourself, you own your own business, but is there anything you would recommend as far as clothing wear to be most efficient or to not ruin everything you own?
I try to be as professional as possible. I like to wear polo shirts like I've got on now. I'm trying to find someone to embroider my logo on them. Aside from that, as long as it's professional and not obscene, you're okay.
What's the hardest part of what you do?
For me, with my accident that I had, it's bending over and getting inside of back seats for long periods of time.
So that's a good point, Chris. You've mentioned this accident a couple times. You were in a pretty bad accident a little over a year ago, and that has come with some physical limitations that you experience now. So even with that, I mean, you're still able to get up on that ladder and get down in the nooks and crannies of cars. So
Yep.
let's say somebody had like a back problem or limited leg mobility, not necessarily wheelchair bound, but just limited physically. This is something that they would still be able to do, or something that if you're in the right mindset, you will be able to do.
A little bit of both. I mean, I have limited leg mobility in my right leg. I don't have the ability to bend it all the way. It definitely has some drawbacks to it, but you have to be in the right mindset, like you were saying, and work around and still get the job done.
That's all the current questions, Suzanne.
Okay, great. Thank you. Chris, is there anything, so we know that you have this really fancy car up front that you're all done with.
Yeah.
So before we go out there and just have you say, this is what I did, so we can end it on a fancy car, is there anything else you'd like to let folks know about your company, about your business? If somebody wanted to get in touch with you, we have your website. That's the way we make appointments with you for our cars to get cleaned.
I'm working on online booking on my website right now.
Okay.
And you can text me, you can call me. I've got WhatsApp as well.
Okay.
Just about every avenue. Facebook Messenger as well.
Okay.
So I
Beautiful.
try to be as accessible as possible.
And do you have, I forgot to ask you this, I saw your website. Do you have a Facebook page as well?
I do.
What's the name of the Facebook page for the company?
Luxe Detailing of Fort Wayne.
Okay, beautiful. So I don't have any more questions for you. If we get another one before we get out there, that's great. Is there any last words you'd like to say to our folks that are watching?
I am 100% mobile.
Good.
I do not have standard 9 to 5 hours, so I work around my customer schedules.
Wonderful. I guess this is my other question. Along with automobiles, do you detail any other pieces of vehicles?
Yes,
Anything?
absolutely. I've been specializing in a lot of boats over the last few months. I'm up back and forth. Go ahead.
So sorry. Is that pretty typical if you're in this line of work to do something besides cars, or is it more just a personal preference?
I would say 50-50. It depends on the person who's running the business. I've seen guys where they only do cars, and I've seen guys where they want as many revenue sources as possible.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm guessing sometimes you're going over to the lake area to do some boats and stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Beautiful. Can you show us the
One last question. What's the biggest difference between doing like a car versus a boat?
Having to get up and down on the ladder. I did a pontoon a few weeks ago, and it's up on a high trailer, and I had to climb the ladder 100 times to get up and down.
Okay, so let's see the fancy car, Chris.
Okay.
So again, this is your home unit that you work from.
Yes.
Okay. Look at the shine on that car.
This one has been sitting in my garage for just a little while. I've done some mechanical work on this, so it might not be 100% perfect.
Sure.
But I did a full paint correction and ceramic coat on this. I want to say just over a month ago now.
Okay. And about how many hours have you put into this car with everything that you've done?
Including all the mechanical work, I've got roughly 40 hours of it.
Wow. All right.
Thank you.
We're very happy to have you with us today with your auto detailing business. Tell us the name one more time.
Luxe Detailing of Fort Wayne.
Great. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks.